accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. And Shiva. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak something on this fundamental subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'll try to speak and repeat what I have heard, and I'll speak in the limited intelligence that I understood this subject matter. So, so with that being said, we'll start on reciting the shlokas. Share my screen. Are you able to see my screen, Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am.
Barhishmati. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 3.22.29 to 30. Barhishmati nama puri sarva sampat samandita nyapatan yatra romani yagna shantam vidhun bataha ushakashasta evasan shashvatharita varchasaha rishayo ye parabhavya yagna nan yagnam ikire. Synonyms, translation interpreted by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Barhishmati, Nama, named, Puri, city, Sarva Sampat, all kinds of wealth, Samanvita, full of, Nyapatan, fell down, Yatra, where, Romani, the hairs, Yagnasya, of Lord Boar, Angam, his body, Vidhunbata, shaking, Kusha, Kusha grass, and Kasha grass, they, Eva, certainly, Asan, became, Shashvat Harita, of evergreen, Varchasa, having the color, Rishaya, the sages, yea, by which, Parabhavya, defeating, Yagnagnan, the disturbers of the sacrificial performances, Yagnam, Lord Vishnu, Ijire, they worshipped. Translation: the city of Bahishmati, rich in all kinds of wealth, was so called because Lord Vishnu's hair dropped there from his body when he manifested himself as Lord Boar. As he shook his body, his very hair fell and turned into blades of evergreen kusha grass and kasha, another kind of grass used for mats, by means of which the sages worshipped Lord Vishnu after defeating the demons who had interfered with the performance of their sacrifice. Purport: any place directly connected with the Supreme Lord is called Itisthana. Bahishmati, the capital of Swayambhu Manu, was exalted not because the city was very rich in wealth and opulence, but because the hairs of Lord Varaha fell at this very spot. These hairs of the Lord later grew as green grass, and the sages used to worship the Lord with that grass after the time when the Lord killed the demon Hiranyaksha. Yagna means Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Bhagavad Gita karma is described as Yagnartha. Yagnartha karma means work done only for the satisfaction of Vishnu. If something is done for sense gratification or any other purpose, it will be binding upon the worker. If one wants to be freed from the reaction of his work, he must perform everything for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Yagna. In the capital of Swayambhu Manu, Bahishmati, these particular functions were being performed by the great sages and saintly persons. So, with that, we will start our prayers. Omajnanatimirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Hiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hey. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees again. So this chapter, it talks about the marriage of Gardama Muni and Devahuti. And the specific section from these texts 28 to 39, it talks about this wonderful rule of Swayambhu Manu. And this is talked about after the marriage of Gardama Muni and Devahuti. And when Manu and Shatarupa returns back to their capital of Bahishmati. And this, specific text that we're reading today, the text, they're talking about how and why the city of Bahishmati was considered not only very beautiful, but also, the Spitasthana, or place that is directly connected with the Lord. So, we understand that any place from the purport, that any place that is directly connected with the Lord is called the Spitasthana. So we'll try to understand why and how this is considered. And it is because during Lord Varaha, or Lord Bor's pastime, when he killed or when he saved this earth, and he came from this Garbhodak ocean after obviously defeating Hiranyaksh, he shook his body and hair to remove the water, right? When we come out of the water, sometimes we'll shake our hair and shake our body just so that we can, get rid of this water. So this is what Lord Varaha had done. And when he had done this, the hairs from his body, they fell down in this place, which is called Bahishmati. And, these hairs, when, this transcendental body of the Lord, the hairs are also because they were falling from the transcendental body of the Lord. Anything related with the Lord is also transcendental. So these hairs were also transcendental. And, when they fell, it manifested as, something that was like a paraphernalia of the Lord that was used in worshiping the Lord. And that became this, it turned into this Gusha and the Gasha grass. And both of these Gusha and Gasha grasses were used in performing the yajna by these great sages that were residing in this capital of Bahishmati. Now it is a capital, right? So it talks about how it's wealthy as well. It has all the opulences and they're also very wealthy. And then going back to this Gusha grass and the Gasha grass, we hear this word Gusha grass even in chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, of how these yogis, they should perform the yoga by sitting on this Gusha grass. So I was thinking, like, what is the importance of using this Gusha grass and this Gasha grass? So when I was, checking, it says that it is very essential for purification. And this Gasha grass is this mat where this performer of the yajna, or the sacrifice, person who's performing the sacrifice, he sits on this mat, which is made out of this Gasha grass. So basically both are very, they're used because they're very purifying. And this is why this place of Bahishmati it was considered very sacred and exalted. And then another reason why this city was directly connected with the Lord is that because, the citizens and the sages were not doing anything for their own sense gratification. The sages were performing all of these different yagnas for the satisfaction of the Lord. And then even the citizens who lived in that city, they were, performing all their activities just to please the Lord and to satisfy the Lord. So both of these ways, were the reasons why the city was very exalted, since, and how it was directly connected with the Lord. And then, of course, Bahishmati, it was a capital, so it had, of course, it had a lot of wealth and opulence. But also, because everyone was performing yagna, it is important to understand that we must perform yagna. And everyone kept the Lord in the center of their activities. So in general, we can see and understand that, the city can have a balanced life. If one, there is wealth and opulence. And then two, if there is a performance of some sacrifice or yagna for the satisfaction of the Lord. And of course, if yagna is missing and only, if the people are interested in the wealth and opulence in the city, then it talks about this text talks about that it'll cause bondage, which will make everyone come back in this repeated birth and death cycle. Basically, this Bahishmati was a very ideal city that we should aspire to build, even in wherever we are. Of course, the timing was completely different during the time of Manu and Shatrupa. But and Kali Yuga time is very different as well, and it's very difficult to find these the real or the right kusha grass and the kasha, to speak of kasha grass. I've never even, I don't even know if that exists anymore in Kali Yuga, but I know kusha grass. There is some places that they sell kusha grass, but I'm not sure if it's really legit. So this recommended process for Kali Yuga, because of it's so hard to find these different paraphernalia for yagna, the Kali Yuga yagna or sacrifice is called this Nam Sankirtana. And this is the process that Lord Chaitanya has given us, right? To chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So why performing this yagna is important? Well, it is because it will bring some balance in the city. And in Bhagavad Gita, even in text 18.5, Krishna says that the acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So Krishna is emphasizing the importance of, no matter how great you are, under any circumstances, you must never give up these three things, which is this, sacrifice, charity, and penance, because it helps you, purify yourself. And yagna, again, is the chanting of the, chanting that we do during our sadhana routine to please, not for ourselves or, anything, but we should understand that we're trying to please our Guru and Krishna. And the dana, or this charity, it should be given for the purpose of propagating the sacrifices. So we should use give the charity with the purpose in mind that this will, either expand the Krishna consciousness movement or help people come to Krishna consciousness, right? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita at the end that people, who will share this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita are very dear to me. And we want to, that should be our goal, to become dear to Krishna. So that is why we should use this charity, not just for anything and everything else, but or not in the hope that, if I give charity, something will come back. It's purely for just satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna. And then tapa. So tapa means that, it's austerity. So what does this austerity mean? Does it mean that you make yourself really in pain or anything? A lot of people feel that's like some of the people think that by giving your body some hard time, that is what's austerity, but that's not really what it is. In Prabhupada has given us this very simple process that for austerity, at least on Ekadashi day, we should not eat grains, and we should, focus on improving our chanting and do more of the devotional service, do more of the chanting with the quality, of course. So he's made it very simple for us. Srila Prabhupada has made it very simple for us for this, how to, perform this tapa. So, automatically, all the opulences, even materialistically, it comes to people who perform this yajna for the satisfaction of the Lord. And that is why, when Prabhupada is stating this in the text or purport, that this city of Bahishmati is very opulent and wealthy, because the reason is that everyone in the city is also, worshiping the Lord and doing all their activities to satisfy the Lord, not their own sense for sense gratification. So our actions also should be performed in such a way that they are pleasing to Lord Krishna. So what does that mean, our actions? It means like, we should understand our thinking, our feeling, our willing, the words that we speak, how we behave. It all should be pleasing to Krishna. And that should be the goal of all the devotees. And, one may ask now that, okay, now I know that I should act like this and use my words and all this, I should do everything to please Krishna. But how do I know what pleases Krishna? So in that case, the answer is that, only spiritual master, he's the only one who knows what pleases Krishna. And when we surrender to the orders of spiritual master, and we, spiritual master will guide us in such a way that we, when we follow the instructions of our guru and mold all of our activities and words, and everything in line with the guru's orders, then of course it will be very pleasing to guru. But also this is the same way that Krishna automatically will be pleased. So for example, let's say, we're thinking about something, and then we should always introspect that my thinking, yes, not everyone can see that you're thinking and thoughts, right? But you should understand and introspect that, is my thinking, whatever I'm thinking, is it in line with my guru's orders? If my guru understood my thinking, will he be pleased with me? So are my words in line with parampara? The words that I'm speaking. And then, just even ordinary talking. Is it based on Srila Prabhupada's teachings? All these kinds of things, when we start introspecting, then automatically our behavior and activities will be in line with the guru's orders. And in turn, it will please Krishna. So we should, of course, continue to hear and practice devotional service. And even in this, sometimes, we feel that I'm doing all this, but I don't get the feeling. Sometimes, in the beginning stages, at least I can talk for myself, you're very enthusiastic. And then, after some time, you feel like, oh, I don't have that enthusiasm anymore, or the feeling. So we should still continue. What should we do in this? Should we just stop? No. We should still continue acting in our devotional service. So one of the stories that I heard is of Srila Prabhupada and one of his disciples. And his disciple said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, today I don't feel like paying obeisances. For some reason, I'm just not feeling it. And then Srila Prabhupada said, keep your feelings on side and pay your obeisances. So when this disciple, he paid his obeisances, because Srila Prabhupada said, don't think about your feelings. Understand that you keep on doing this activity. And because it was Srila Prabhupada's order, the feelings, the purpose of this is that feelings will automatically come when you follow Guru's instructions. So you keep on performing the activities even if you feel like, oh, I can't do it, I don't get the feeling. But just, we also hear in chanting, our mind is not attentive, but we have to keep on performing the activity of bringing the mind back. So over time, what this will do is it will help us, our minds will get purified, of course, because it causes this Cetodarpana Marjanam, right? It cleans the mirror of the heart. So this whole sadhana process is very crucial. And just by doing and doing, gradually we will develop these feelings and bhava. It may not be in this lifetime for some people. If you're really intense based on your previous activities and how eager you are to complete the devotional service. With all of that in mind, one can even complete their life. This could be Prabhupada said that this could be your last life, based on how intensely and how sincerely you want to go back to Godhead in this life. So it is the parampara discipline that we have to follow. And discipline, or what does disciple mean, right? Disciple means discipline. And discipline means obedience to the spiritual master. If we want to be like a first-class disciple, sometimes you're like, oh, how can I be the first-class disciple of my Guru Maharaj? Then we should always check ourselves that all of my thoughts, my words, my actions, behaviors, they're in line with the Guru's orders. Some of these things are very subtle, so it's not very grossly expressed, but you know it inside your mind, how you're thinking, how you're feeling. Sometimes you may not show up your thoughts outside, right? But when you keep on introspecting about those thoughts, like, oh, why am I thinking this way? Is this something that would please my Guru? So it's not your focus, should not be on those thoughts that you're thinking, but about Guru. Will this please my Guru? So this is how you can, of course, please your Guru. And also this is how you can automatically then please Krishna, where we can live in this balanced city wherever we are. So with this in mind, I would like to conclude today's class. Please forgive me if there is anything that I may have misspoken. And at this time, I would like to ask if there are any reflections, discussions, or any corrections that you may have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Your class was very, very thought-provoking, and you had a lot of practical points. So it was a very practical class, how to apply Krishna consciousness in our life. And, I was thinking, my reflection was that it's like a directional compass. When we are lost, we need to find our true north. Then the true north is remembering our Guru, and thereby remembering Krishna's instructions and aligning our lives with that. So you put it very nicely, be it charity, be it our internal thought process. How do we find the true north? That's what I took away from today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your reflection, Mataji. Yes, that's very important to always keep Guru in back of our minds, at least whenever we're thinking and doing anything. And that is how we're automatically going to please Krishna. So thank you for your reflection. If there is nothing else, we can conclude the call, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vanchakapatirukyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patidanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnav ki jai. Bhagavatam ki jai. Ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.